Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh B'Shem El Shai B'Shem Rakah Kodash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video Egypt and Babylon the Great, one and the same. So as you see here, I did a video featuring Isaiah chapter 19. I didn't go through the whole chapter. So you see here, IUIC captain, 15 minutes with the captains, Isaiah 19, the Egyptian and the Assyrian. So I'm watching this video, and I watched mostly all of it. I kind of skipped some parts of it, but I pretty much watched the whole thing. And this is the main speaker right here, which he's a used car salesman. He's got a used car salesman spirit on him. You know, if something's wrong with the car, he'll quickly say, no, that don't mean nothing. No, that's supposed to be like, good. Other than that, he's a good speaker, though, good teacher, because he teaches with a lot of spirit. But I'm watching this video, and you can watch the video right here. IUIC captains. This is 2 years ago. Hashtag IUIC, like I said, 15 minutes with the captains. Isaiah 19, the Egyptians and the Assyrians. And then in this video, he's going to give you the understanding of Isaiah 19, mainly like the 19th, 20th verse, 19 verse on down. And what he's going to do is he's going to give you a bunch of precepts proving that Israelites were in fact living in Egypt. Like it says, Egypt, what does it say? I can go to it. It's in Isaiah 19, but it speaks about Egypt, my people. So what he does is he goes to a bunch of precepts, a handful of precepts, showing you that you had Israelites living in Egypt after the Egyptian captivity, the first Egypt. Well, what he doesn't understand is this Egypt in Isaiah chapter 19 has nothing to do with ancient Egypt whatsoever. And the Most High is not going to dedicate a whole chapter to give to Isaiah telling you that the Israelites were living in Egypt and the geographical location called Egypt. Wasn't talking about that. Isaiah is a prophet. What prophets do, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Joel, Obadiah, Habakkuk, Nahum, the list goes on and on. Ezekiel, Zechariah, Zephaniah. Those prophets prophesied. They prophesied about things that was to happen in their lifetime, or 100 years from the time that they made the prophecy. Like Daniel, he made prophecies concerning actually the Babylonians, Babylonians, Medo-Persians, Greeks, Romans, and there was two parts of the Roman Empire, the beast that was diverse from the rest. You have scholars that say that's talking about, they'll all agree that it's talking about Rome. The fourth beast is Rome, but they don't tell you that there's another leg to Rome, to the Roman Empire, which is this system today, the NATO and the EU. Not the UN. The UN is not a part of the beast. The UN works with the beast, the UN is separate with the beast. So anybody saying, well, the UN is part of the beast. The UN is not a part of the beast. But it works with the beast. It lifts up the beast. It honors the beast. What was it? You had a celebration, a 50-year celebration at the UN of NATO. And it was 1949. Matter of fact, let me do this. The UN celebrates 50 years of NATO. Okay, so the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, a military alliance of 17 European nations, Edomites, which is a racist, they should call out racism for NATO. This is a racist organization. The U.S. and Canada will celebrate its anniversary in April 1999. And I remember we was at the camp during the week that they had it on 34th and 7th. Okay, what is the difference between the United Nations and NATO? While the UN has a more social profile, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization is based on military operations. So if you don't know, now you know. NATO was put together, going to the history of NATO, NATO was pulled together to be a, in other words, if Russia ever attacked, NATO was put together for Russia, the threat of Russia. So that this agreement, this compact, if any NATO nation was attacked by the Russians, that you attacked all of these NATO nations. So that's World War III right there. You know, you got in the news with Ukraine, and Poland is entering into Ukraine, and France. If France enters the Ukraine, and Russia kills one of the French soldiers, that's World War III. So they got to be careful as to what they do. You had Americans that was down there that was captured by the Russians, fighting on the side of NATO, but they wasn't fighting for America. They were mercenaries. So they were captured, beat up, tortured, and let go. So there was no U.S. military that went as getting orders from a general to go down in there, because that's World War III. So you got to be careful. Also known as the North Atlantic Alliance, it is currently made up of 32 countries and provides military support to member states in the case that they are attacked. Nope. In the case that they were attacked by Russia. So they changed it up. So if Iraq, Iran attacks, then the NATO nation, it wasn't put together for that reason. So they changing history, boy. They changing they moving the goalposts. When you read the original, the reason why these nations formed the alliance is because of Russia, not any other nation. So anyway, I kind of went off a little bit, but I just wanted to prove that point. And by the way, when you go to the scriptures, you're not going to find the word NATO. You're not going to find the word or the acronym NATO or the acronym the EU. You're not going to find America in matter of fact, you know what? Yeah, brother, you said America is Babylon the Great. Show me that in the Bible. Show me where it says America. Okay, let's look it up. America. America. Let's see if that comes up. Doesn't come up. But America is all mentioned throughout the scriptures, throughout the prophetic scriptures, as Babylon, Egypt, Assyria, Nineveh, Sodom, when you go to the book of Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Joel, they're prophetic, they're prophets, and they're prophesying things to come to pass and take place in the future. Like I said, some prophets prophesied things that was going to come to pass 10 years from the time he made the prophecy, or 20 years, or 100 years. When you go to Daniel chapter 8, it goes into the Medo-Persian, the Greeks, and even scholars will tell you that. But then you got Christians that'll say that's the little horn is talking about the Antichrist. Don't know what the hell they're talking about. But anyway, Daniel was on the scene close to 500, 580, 600. That was during the time of the Babylonian transition into the Medo-Persian Empire. So when Daniel prophesied Antiochus Epiphanes, when did that come to pass? When did his prophecy come to pass? Let's round it off to 600. His prophecy came to pass 450 years in the future. The prophecy of the Medo-Persians came to pass during his lifetime. So Daniel was living during the Babylonian Empire. He was also living during the time of the Medo-Persian Empire. He was not living during the time of the Greeks and the Romans. And when you go to Daniel 7, it goes into, well, we're in Daniel 7. It goes into the beast. In Daniel 7, he also sees the destruction of this place. Same thing that John saw. I believe John and Daniel, they're probably the same person. Daniel came back as John. But anyway, this individual right here shows you that the Spirit's not really dealing with the IUIC. They go off on a lot of things. Now, it'll work with people that don't study, or that are not of the elect, or not prophets, or do not possess the magic eye, the spiritual eye, or if you don't have the eye salve, that's in Revelation, the 3rd chapter, the eye salve that thou may see. It's going to go that fast used car talking, and I'm not snapping on the guy. I'm not snapping because he's a very good teacher, but he's not teaching correctly. He's not breaking down the scriptures correctly. For you to go into Isaiah 19 and say and prove, see, you had Israelites living. Let's go to Isaiah 11:11. They dispersed. It was in Egypt. See, that's more. Yeah, but wait a minute. So the Most High is going to dedicate a whole chapter, give it to Isaiah about Egypt, because you had Israelites in Egypt. It says they were also in Cush, they was also in Elam. So why don't the Most High dedicate a whole chapter to Cush? Just do Isaiah 19 all over again, and wherever it says Egypt, just put Cush there, or push Elam there. As a matter of fact, let me do this. Let me do it this way. Isaiah 11 and 11. And this is talking about now. Okay, so it mentions all the nations that Israel's going to come out of, right? That which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros. Why isn't there a whole chapter dedicated to Pathros? Go to Isaiah chapter 19. Anytime you see Egypt, put Pathros there. What about Cush? What about Elam? What about Shinar? What about Hamath? What about all the islands of the sea? So we know that they were scattered from all these places, but Isaiah 19 has nothing to do with the geographical location of Egypt. That's something that Vocab might tell you, because he doesn't understand prophecy. They didn't teach him that. And how do we know that this is talking about now? Because it mentions Ephraim and Judah getting back together. So this is getting ready to come to pass. Not no black. All Israel, all 12 tribes are black. There's no apologists for that. They're all gone. Nazariah from Chicago, he's gone. He's back in the world, wherever the hell he's at. Fopi, they had that same. All the 12 tribes are all black. Them Latins in America are all heathens. That proves that the Most High wasn't with them guys, because they're not defending the gospel. They're not defending the gospel. The Apostle Paul spoke about he fought a good fight, and there layeth up a crown for him. So you guys turn your back on the plow. So that proves what? That first of all, you guys are not men of the Lord, and the Lord was never dealing with you guys. That's why you gave up the ghost. You turned your back on the plow. You ran out of gas. You had no oil in your lamps. And Fopi ain't coming back. Fopi ain't coming back. And if he does come back, he's coming back because I'm trolling him. And you're going to come back, and then you're going to fall. You're going to run out of gas again. Because you're not one of the men of the Lord. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm not snapping on you. I'm not getting on you. I'm just giving you facts. Most I ain't gonna set up no men to teach a gospel, then all of a sudden they don't teach it no more. If GMS closed up shop and we stopped teaching, that would mean that the Most High was never dealing with us. Remember, Bishop Nate took a couple of years off. When that House of David and the 12 Tribe Productions, they were all Reservoir Dogs, and he was by himself. He said all them guys and fell off. He said in an interview. He's talking to Clark Kent over there, Sam Kestenbaum. You're gonna find out, boy. You're gonna find out, especially when they push that charagma. Okay, give me a second here. Let me Let me come back over here. Bear me for a second. So he did a whole lot of talking. Now, please watch the video. Please watch the video. Especially, I would like individuals like Elder Manat Zakbar, all of y'all, pretty much, all of y'all. Elder Karatazar, Elder Karatazar Ba, Elder Yashawamba, all of y'all. I'm just throwing out names because y'all are similar to me. You don't have nothing to teach on. Just go to another video, watch the video, and you say they're going off. You make a video out of it. He clearly went off. But I believe he's sincere. And all he's doing is spewing out the madness that the great Bishop Nathaniel Ga, that's his actual name, gave him. That's all he's doing. He's putting a little flair, a little spice on it. He doesn't understand that this is talking about Isaiah chapter 19 is talking about America, us being delivered from America. And it also proves that we're going to speak Hebrew before we get into the kingdom. Are we going to speak fluent Hebrew? No. But we're going to know some Hebrew. You go to another country, you know the language, you know just enough of the language to get by. So we know just enough of the Hebrew to get by. Because I ain't going to be calling on Jesus. Jesus. I'm going Hebrew. So anyway, so this is what I did. I'm not going to make this much longer. This is what I did. If the Spirit ain't dealing with you, you're going to go off. You're going to confuse the people. Isaiah chapter 19 has nothing to do with geographical location known as Egypt. Let me help you out a little bit more. Okay, this is Egypt. This is Egypt. All this up here is Egypt. This is, you got the Red Sea, you got the Nile. Give me a second here. Egypt. And America's Egypt, America's Nile is the Mississippi. Mississippi cuts straight across the middle of the United States. So we know that this is spiritual Egypt. This is the wilderness. The wilderness is Zin. We went north. You got Edom, Moab, Ammon, and you got our land. Which we're going to get all of this. We're going to get all this. We're going to get all this. All this. East of the Nile, we're going to get all this. This is going to be our land. The small hats, they only got this. They know full well they're supposed to have all of this. So they're not the people. They're imposters. Are some of them Israelites? Yeah. What about the white pasty ones? Some of them are Israelites, actually Israelites. So you got to tell people that. Okay, so now, I don't got to let you hear this. Just when you're in your leisure, listen to it. And I pray that you make a video. So what I did was I went to Egypt. Forgive me for rambling. But I hit some good points, I believe. So I went to put the word Egypt. Egypt comes up 27 times. Let me go to the first verse. The burden of Egypt. So right away, okay, this is talking about ancient Egypt. You think about the geographical location, Egypt. Behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud. Notice talking about the chariots. The Lord never came to save us in chariots in Egypt. We did receive the laws by way of chariots. That's in Deuteronomy 33. And shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. The heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it is talking about when the missiles get ready to hit this place, people's hearts are going to melt. A lot of people are going to drop dead of heart attacks. A lot of them are going to stroke out. A lot of them are going to shit in their pants. They're going to throw up. They're going to pee on themselves. This deliverance is going to be super special. You can't describe this deliverance and the destruction to any other time in history. And it's going to happen in the time of Jacob's trouble. And we're coming into the time of Jacob's trouble. And you can't pull the wool over our eyes, Esau. That whole ship thing, the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Well, we learned a lot. You know what I learned? Francis Scott Key had slaves. They're talking about how great this guy is. This nigga had slaves. And we know it went down, brother. Every boy, all on YouTube, all on Odyssey. And I was watching this one guy. He looked like an Edomite. He 3 hours. He was going all in. I mean, he was going into it, man. He's going in. I was also watching the GMS algorithm, and everybody, and the first, thing you had brothers saying, that's the Most High's judgment. I knew it wasn't the Most High's judgment. I said, in a matter of time, it'll come out. And we're finding out that we found out a lot of things about cruise ship and the technology, these cruise ships, not cruise ships, cargo ships, they have advanced technology and they work with the Coast Guards. Everything is monitored because you're dealing with billions of dollars worth of stuff. So you got to have a backup. Right before it hit the bridge, the lights went out. Then it came back on. No, you got a backup. Where I live, we got a backup gigantic generator. If the lights go out, boom, the lights, boom, kick on. The generator kicks in. So you mean to tell me you got a cargo ship that goes from one side of the earth to the other in a ship with billions of dollars worth of inventory, and the lights go out and there's no backup? Fuck out of here. So you can't pull the wool over people's eyes, man. That's why they take sites down, because everybody's waking up to the truth. Ain't nobody watching no CNN no more. Ain't nobody watching no goddamn CNN. That's a joke. I'm sorry. I'm rambling. So we're going to attempt to read every time Egypt is verse with Egypt in it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against city, kingdom against kingdom. Now, did the ancient Egyptians fight against each other? No, they were fighting against us. Okay, so what precept comes to mind? It's right here. I'm sorry. Right here. Okay. 2nd Ezra 15, verse 14 to 16. You can really read the whole chapter. And what I'm going to do is, I notice Egypt here. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another people, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition. Now, sedition means sedition means to fight against the government. Like, you're a part of government, but you're fighting against the government. In other words, you're under the government, but you're fighting against the government. Like, people are not listening to the government because they don't have answers. Among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings, which are the presidents, their governors, their mayors, nor princes, because you know what they're finding out? They ain't doing nothing for them. They're collecting taxes. They ain't doing nothing for you. And the cost of their actions, the people's actions, shall stand in their power. Now, there's a movie getting ready to come out, what is it, April? Called Civil War. So I'm going to watch, hopefully, I don't go to movies. I don't go to movie theaters. And I stopped doing that after the Ragamuffin. So I'm not going into a black box filled with demons in it. I'll catch it on streamer, whether it be on Netflix or whatever. And we'll be watching it and we'll be talking about it. And that's called, what is that called? The hell is that term? Programming. Somebody help me out. It'll come back to me. But anyway, this is what I'm going to do here. Let me put in the word Egypt. Okay, it's only here 3 times. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, because the Most High is going to deliver us. This is America. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues. This is America, as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. The Most High is not going to destroy the ancient land of Egypt. Predictive programming. Predictive programming. That movie Civil War is predictive programming. They're telling you what's going to happen before it happens. It said, Egypt, which is America, shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. So we know this is not talking about ancient Egypt. So the same goes with, come on back. The same goes with Isaiah chapter 19. It has nothing to do with the geographical location known as Egypt. It's talking about Babylon the Great, Assyria, Nineveh, spiritually Nineveh. I'm sorry. So immediately, 2 Ezra 15 came to mind. Third verse. the spirit of Egypt, which we know what Egypt is talking about, shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to charmers. Isaiah 47, you start the 10th verse on down, and to them they shall consult mediums and witches and warlocks, because that's where their power comes from. Their God is the spiritual demon Satan. And to them that have familiar spirits and wizards. Behind the scenes, these successful people, they pray to demons. That's why when you make it in this society, you gotta partake in the rituals, man. All these people in the entertainment world, the sport world, these celebrities, the hip hop communities, top hip hop artists, they all had to bow down. And then none of them is gonna make it. Not one of them. Jay-Z's not gonna make it. 50's not gonna make it. None of them gonna make it unless they repent. Floyd's not gonna make it because Floyd, he made that deal with CBS and Showtime. When he started doing interviews, he kept throwing up the diamond sign. Fourth verse, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord. The Lord. That word right there is the one, Yahweh of hosts. So who could that be? Could that be Trump coming in there and showing another side of himself? I'm reading only the verses that contains the word Egypt. 12th verse. Where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know that Yahweh of hosts meaning the armies, have proposed upon Egypt. It's talking about Babylon the Great, the U.S. Yahweh have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. And that's, these politicians don't have, people are saying these politicians are phonies, man. They make, and this happens every time. You have a politician with a suit on, he gives you these fine speeches, he gives you these promises, and as soon as he gets in the office, he flips it up. '15 verse, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Now the only ones that's going to get jobs are these migrants coming up here because they're going to work for cheap. Because to them, that's a lot of money. If they get a job, a halfway decent job, they might be making $5 an hour. In their country, they might be making $5 a day or $5 a week. So they said, damn, I'm in heaven. It's all about cheap labor. This is all a plan. And the people of this country don't see it, because the majority of these people are stupid. They're idiots. They're dumbasses. You only have a handful of people whose eyes are open. And the Israelites' eyes, if you're an Israelite, your eyes should be fully open. So when that ship hit the bridge, Antenna should have went up. That's okay, yeah, it's an accident. All right. In that day, 16 verse, show Egypt, which we know it has nothing to do with the geographical location called Egypt in Africa. It's talking about right here. It could have the word you could have replaced this word Egypt with Babylon, or the daughter of Babylon. But be like unto women. That's in Jeremiah. Be like unto women. That's in Nahum, the 3rd chapter. They became women, meaning they're going to bitch up. These American men don't want to fight. Hey, first of all, Jake ain't fighting in no goddamn war. You're gonna have to declare a draft. Back in the day, back in World War II, Jake wanted to fight. I want to show you that I can fight, Mr. White Man. Jake ain't like that now. Back then, you had them Uncle Toms, man, with the conch in their hair, man. Jake ain't trying to fight. Esau ain't trying to. Edomite man ain't trying to fight. They living too good. They said, look, we living pretty damn good. We ain't gonna go to a war and leave our leg over there, half of our head, come back bugged out, and ain't nobody. That's what the sedition is all about. I read in second Ezra 15. They shall not regard their kings or princes. So when the president makes a speech about we got to go fight for our country, then man, they're going to say fuck it. Jake is going to say fuck it, and Esau is going to say fuck it. And with Vietnam conflict, you had a lot of Edomites, Americans that moved up to Canada. They said, we ain't fighting no goddamn war. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women. You're going to bitch up. And it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of Yahweh of hosts, which he shaketh over it. '17 verse. And the land of Judah, America is the land of Judah. Anywhere where Judah is, boots on the ground, 10 toes down, that's what that's talking about. Shall be a terror unto Egypt. The land of Judah represents a people before it's a place. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself because of the counsel of Yahweh of hosts, which he hath determined against it. In that day, 18 verse, in that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan and swear to call on the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Yahushai Nawa, to Yahweh of hosts of the armies, one shall be called the city of destruction. The city is going to be called the city of destruction because this place is going to be utterly destroyed. To destroy the whole land, Isaiah 13. So if the previous verses that mention Egypt is not talking about the actual location of Egypt, it's talking about America. It makes sense. But right here, but this is talking about Egypt. No, this is talking about America. The 5 cities represent, there's going to be a number of places where we got the major camps at. You got the different camps. This big, GMS out there in the West, GMS Atlanta, GMS Florida, whatever, GMS Dallas, GMS Houston, GMS Canada, whatever. Outside GMS UK, whatever. When they say the prayers, we all did this, the Passover the same way. We went into the Hebrew, so we were speaking Hebrew. So Bishop Nathaniel said, "Oh, Zephaniah 3:9, we're gonna speak Hebrew in the kingdom." No, we're speaking Hebrew right here. This proves it. The language of Canaan. Look it up. Copy and paste language of Canaan, put it in Google and see what pops up. The ancient Hebrew, Lashwan Kodash, a Paleo Hebrew, whatever you want to call it. And that day shall there be an altar. Now the word altar is mazabak, which means from sacrifice. And who's the sacrifice? We are. We sacrifice ourselves for this truth to Yahweh in the midst of the land of Egypt, in America, in Babylon the Great. Because that's where the deliverance is going to come at her. And a pillar at the border thereof to Yahweh. A pillar is there for something to stand up. So we represent the pillars or the pillar because you can't knock us down. Now I mentioned Fopi, I mentioned Nazariah, Chicago. They were not pillars because they fell down. Any of you guys that went out and fell out the truth, went back into the world, you're not pillars. The pillars, the pillar represents something that's held up, a defense. Not so much a defense, but to hold up a structure, hold up an edifice. The bridge that went down, what did the ship hit? A pillar. And it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto Yahweh of hosts in the land of, what land is that taught? The brother from the IUIC, you're going off. You need to go back. You need to do a video and correct what you said. You need to sit down and have a meeting with the leadership of the IUIC. The word Egypt is written 27 times, and every 27 times it has nothing to do with the geographical location Egypt. Now, Isaiah 11:11, when it says Egypt, yes, that's talking about actual Egypt. So you have to have spiritual discernment. So you lack the eye salve. That's why you can't see the MOTB. He said it ain't no damn microchip. Oh yes, it is. And I'll pay to see your faces, man. When they make that chip mandatory, I'll pay to see Bishop how he gonna explain that shit away, and we're gonna be laughing. For they shall cry unto Yahweh. Where are we crying unto Yahweh? Here in this place, because of the oppressor. Who's the oppressor? If you don't know who the oppressor is, then you ain't got no business watching this video. And he shall send them a savior. Who's this? It's talking about Moses. It ain't talking about Moses. It's talking about Yahushua, and a great one, and he shall deliver them. His name, Yahushua. Yahushua means deliverer. He deliver. And 21st verse, and Yahweh shall be known to Egypt, and the Egyptians shall know the Lord. The Egyptians is talking about what? The Israelites that's living in Babylon the Great shall know the Lord in that day, and shall do sacrifices and oblations. Yeah, they shall vow a vow unto Yahweh and perform it. What's the vow? That we heard about Israel, and we're gonna become teachers, and we're gonna do it. We'll die before we give this up. So all you clowns that fell out I'm talking about way back in the One West days, all you guys that turn your back on the plow, you're gonna take that if you're still living, you're gonna take that charagma, and you're going to be destroyed. But you're going to come back in the kingdom. All you demons, and I can name, if I name, I'll be here all day naming names. All you fucking demons that turn, and you watch our videos, you demons watch our videos, and you know you're going to take the charagma, and you know you're going to die. Because you're all, I had to say that, because you're all a bunch of F-ups, and you're all going to die. Where'd I get that from? You're all a bunch of F-ups, and you're all going to die. If you can tell me where I got that, what movie I got that from, you're good. You're real good. And Yahweh shall smite. How you going to follow a man that doesn't even call on the name Yahweh and Yahweh Shai? Hey, that's why I call these guys zombies, man. Got a lot of people that don't use, a lot of Israelites that don't use their brain. They just fall, here's the guy. Whatever this nigga said, I'm going to do what he said. You bunch of dummies. This is why a lot of them stayed, when the split came, a lot of them stayed at the main school. And what did they get? What prize did they get? They got comfy. And these niggas are still waiting for comfy to raise up out of the grave. You bunch of dumbasses. That's if he's actually dead. He might be out there in Dubai hanging out with Floyd Mayweather and Michael Jackson. Or he's actually dead. And if he's dead, the ragamuffin didn't get him, the Most High got him. And Yahweh shall smite Egypt, Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon, Assyria, Nineveh, Egypt, Sodom, spiritually Sodom and Egypt. He shall smite and heal it, meaning what? America's falling apart. So America's getting smitten, but then, America gets back on its feet. But there's going to be a point where they can't heal themselves no more. That's in Jeremiah. And as a matter of fact, you know what? No, I don't got to go to that. You put that in Jeremiah. It's either 50 or 51. It says, and they shall return even to Yahweh, and he shall be entreated of them, and shall heal them. So who's going to be healed? Smite and heal it. We were smitten, and we're being healed. Hosea 6:2. But America is being smitten and healed. But there's going to be a point where they're going to get smitten, and they're not going to be healed anymore. In that day shall there be a highway out of Egypt to Assyria, and Assyrian shall. Now it says that Ephraim goes from Assyria, and from the Egypt to Assyria, from Assyria to Egypt. Have it said in Hosea. That Assyria is another name for Babylon the Great. Shall come into Egypt, and the Egyptians into Assyria, and the Egyptians shall serve with the Assyrians. You had Simeon come up here, you had Levi come up here, you have Benjamin come up here. You have all the tribes in America, because the Most High has to have the 144,000 mostly in America. You're going to have some of the 144,000 in other nations that's going to be delivered. Now, it could be that the Most High will summon through the Spirit these different brothers that are of the elect around the world to come to America before the deliverance. But it says in Matthew 24 that the elect is going to be delivered from one side of heaven to the other. So you're going to have elect that's going to be delivered out of other places outside of America. I'm almost finished. Just hang with me. 24 and 25. In that day shall Israel be the third with Egypt, with Assyria, even a blessing in the midst of the land. The land is America, whether you call it Assyria, Egypt, Babylon, Nineveh, Sodom, whom Yahweh of hosts shall bless, saying, blessed be Egypt, my people. Now, what does that mean? Blessed be Egypt, my people. It's talking about blessed be the elect that are in the land of Egypt, which is Babylon the Great. My people in Assyria, the work of my hands, and Israel, mine inheritance. So anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. On to the next one. Shalom.